Premiership's on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.
Hi, Tom from Leicester Fan TV here. Obviously, the game just finished. Bit of a mix of emotion from that watch along. Couldn't really get a stream to work, but I want to know what your thoughts are. Was that a good point on the road today? Or was it a bad point on the road today? Massive point in some ways, I'd say, to keep, to get a point of where Ipswich, a team, are around us. That means Leicester will be going into the game Man U versus Man U, play 10 and on 10 points, -4 goal difference. Everton have played 10 on 9 points. Palace played 9 on 6 points. Ipswich played 10 on 5 points. Southampton played 10, 4 points, and Wolves played 9 on 2 points. Obviously, mixed bags of emotion. Obviously, Southampton winning didn't help us at all. Us getting a result though is, something from the game is big. I want to know what your thoughts are. Drop your comments in, guys. Drop what you think. I want to know what your thoughts of the games are. If you want to come on there, come on. I will invite anybody on the show. I'll put the code out there now. If you want to come have your say, I'll drop it in the box there. Come and join me on StreamYard. Let me know what your thoughts of the games are. I'll just put it in there now. So we're going through the comments. Hey mate, how you doing? You okay, Kyle? Thank you, Jordan. Are you? Yes. Don't let Really pick Vestergaard as man of the match. Points, good point, but still should have been 3. Completely agree with you. We've got to do better than that in some ways. Massive point, but why can't we get 90-minute performances? I just don't know. And why is it taking us to go down to 10 men to get that kind of result? That happens 3 times now where it's been 1-1 late equalised. This time we have scored, but Ipswich haven't. Exactly. And I said that in the game, like, is it our turn to get that late equaliser? If you look at it, the 2 games, as the table comes up in front of me, obviously Leicester on 10 points. The 2 games last year, Ipswich scored late, and it was our turn to get the late equaliser. Obviously, they'll say 10 men. Cooper back in. Nah. I'm still not sure about Cooper. Foxes stay on the tractors. Cooper saves his job by 4 minutes. He has really. Like I say, I've dropped the link in there, guys. Anybody wants to come join us, the links are all in there. Come and join me on, have your say on the match. I want to know what you guys think. Performance was shocking. His subs worked, but we look lost still. John's going to come join us. John, how you doing, mate?
Hi, Tom. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, mate. What did you make of that? Is it a good point in the end, or are we still questioning Steve Cooper and what he's doing at the football club?
Yeah, I'm absolutely questioning Cooper. I think I was always of the opinion that we should give him some time to bed in and get his tactics right. I think 10 games was, what most fans were talking about in terms of giving him that amount of time to sort of get things right. Today hasn't convinced me after his 10th game that he's got enough to get us to where we need to be and stay up. I think we could have quite easily lost that today. I think the things that we went against 10 men, and that has saved us, basically. But it quite easily could have been 2-0. He had a really good chance to score a headed goal before that sending off. And they also probably could have had a penalty with Fataru pushing over one of their lads. And so that could easily have been 2-0 or 3-0. To me, I think possibly he's a bit charmed, Cooper, in terms of we keep coming up with, emergency results as and when, even the Bournemouth game we won, but we were struggling. towards the end and held on. You know, the Southampton game, dreadful, and then pulled it back, fortunately. And today, I think we've got a fortunate point again. So I think, okay, it's a point on the board, but, you know, it keeps Ipswich further down than they could have been if they won it. So that's a point's better than nothing, but I'm not seeing enough from the team to be convinced by Cooper at all. I'm not Cooper out as yet, but I think he really, really needs to sort it out, and we need to see a proper 90-minute performance. Sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest question of the season. Why are we not getting a full 90-minute performance? Why is it taking us again another poor? First 20 minutes, I think we played well. We had the better chances. Mavididi obviously hits one wide. Well, should have scored it, tap in after 5 minutes. He doesn't. Bonotti has a good chance. Keeper makes a good save. Abdul has another good shot, another good save. Then Ipswich just turned on the screw and just literally pushed us back and back and back. And it was just felt like it was a matter of time before Ipswich scored, in my view, in the game.
Yeah, it's really really predictable that we didn't come out for the second half and Ipswich turned it up a gear or two, and we just didn't. We didn't do the same. You know, it's time after time, game after game, we're seeing a very similar pattern, and I can't put my finger on why that's happening. But Cooper's being paid the big bucks to try and figure that out, and he so far isn't.
Yeah, I mean, the question here, someone's put Winks and Ndidi doesn't work for me. I mean, today we'll talk about the man. He had a good performance at Man United. Boubakary Samari, does he get a start at Man U away after his performance again today, after his performance at Man U last week? Does he deserve to be starting now? Because Winks and Ndidi have had enough games and doesn't seem to be doing it in this league. And does he need an opportunity for Samari to start next week?
Yeah, I mean, I've never ever thought I'd ever hear anyone say Samari should be starting. That's, you know, it's almost unbelievable to even conceive that as a thought. I thought he was well and truly gone and should have been gone. But to his credit, he did play well against Man U, and when he came on today, he did make a bit of a difference, bit more energy, and I think that's always been late. The criticism we've put against him is that he doesn't seem to be getting around the park, and he seems to have somehow found the ability to do that. Certainly in the last game and a half that we've seen him, maybe, but it does feel like, you know, if that is the case, are we actually scraping the barrel at this point in terms of trying to find that, you know, 90-minute performance? I suppose it doesn't really matter who's playing as long as we get the performance right. But yeah, it does feel like desperate measures if we're talking about having Samari as a starter. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, mate, just a bit. Jono, thank you for joining, mate. I've got other people waiting to come in, but appreciate your time, bud.
No worries.
Cheers, mate. See you later, mate. And then, look, Joe's going to pop in. And then, Joe, you okay, mate?
You all right, Tom? How's it going, mate? All right.
Yeah. What did you think of the game?
I thought that we were poor first half, obviously, other than that first 10 minutes where I really thought we were going to have that 90-minute performance everyone keeps talking about. But obviously, it just seems that we can't seem to string it together. Genuinely thought we weren't going to have enough. I think the sending off for Calvin Phillips really gave us and galvanised us and gave us a chance to get back in the game. I think if they'd have had 11 against 11, I don't think we'd have got back in. But luckily, we've managed to get in. Jordan and I are coming up with a late goal again. And 10 points from 10 games for me isn't really a bad return. I think personally for me, am I enamoured with Cooper's style of football? No. But am I happy with the return? And basically, I just want us to stay in the Premier League this season. That's the goal. That's the target. And I think that's what I think a lot of fans need to realise is the goal this season is purely to stabilise in the Premier League. And at the moment, we're achieving that. We've got some very difficult games coming up, so we'll see how we go. I'm actually going to United next week, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm not looking forward to it if Wednesday night's performance is repeated.
Oh, mate, you've just mentioned it's some big games coming up over the next few weeks. Obviously, we've got Manchester United next week. We're then international break. Then we're at home to Chelsea, away to Brentford, home to West Ham, home to Brighton, away to Newcastle, home to Wolves, and then away to Liverpool before playing Manchester City at home before the end of the year. You know, you got to look at the Wolves, the West Ham, the Brentford game are the ones now where you've got to be looking at points for. Brighton at home's not going to be an easy game. Newcastle away is not an easy game. Liverpool, Man City. So out of that next 7-8 fixtures, you're looking at 3 fixtures where you've got to be thinking of getting the points from this year.
For sure. I mean, can I ask you a question, Tom? Sorry to interrupt. You know how obviously we were talking about this run of games, obviously with Forest, Southampton, Bournemouth. Would you have been happy with 7 points at the start of that run?
I said I'd like 8 points, so only one difference. Before that, I said 2 home wins, 2 home wins, and 2 away draws would have been a good result in my view. Obviously, we got a away win at Southampton was even better, and obviously we've got a point today. But I think the more disappointing is the performances again are costing us. Not turning out for 90 minutes. Let's not get it wrong. The Bournemouth at home, first 45, brilliant. Second half, we were lucky to cling on and get the win. Southampton away, the first 45, awful. Second 45, bang on. Okay, they were down 10 men, but still a good enough performance. The performance against Forest, first half, I thought actually we played pretty well. And we played some good football at times in that first half. Second half, we stayed in the dressing room. And then today, I think it was very mixed bag. The first 20 minutes, I thought we actually played pretty well in that game. And we had the better chances. Again, if Mavididi scores after about 5 minutes when he side foots it and misses it, it's a completely different ball game for Ipswich in that sense. And, Abdul had a chance. But again, we don't take the chances when they come. We then invite too much pressure. We crumble, we concede, and then it's an uphill battle. So, look, there's no easy game in the Premier League. We all know that. But there comes a point where we've got to start seeing 90-minute performances, or we're not going to turn this round.
Yeah, for sure. I think to be honest with you, even when we go defensive, we've not looked solid in a lot of ways. When we invite that pressure on and we're trying to hold on to something, I cite Crystal Palace as an example in terms of earlier on in the season when we were 2-0 up in a game, and obviously, they got lucky to get back into it with a potentially offside goal, but then we literally just sit back and we didn't look comfortable. I think what I would love to see over the next couple of games is really us try and take the game by the scruff of the neck and have that 90-minute performance. I don't really feel like we've done that this season, which is disappointing. But I think if you'd have given me 10 points, like I said earlier, if you give me 10 points from 10 games, I probably would have taken it at the start of the season. But you've got to ask yourselves the question, and I know a lot of fans that have come on here, such as yourself, all said this isn't sustainable. I don't think. I think obviously we've done well in certain games. I'm actually a massive Cooper in. I think in terms of the manager we could get, I'm always a person that supports the manager in the dugout. I will do that, but at the same time, you can sort of understand the frustration from fans who are saying, I want to see better football, because the football hasn't been great this season. But like I said, I'm not particularly bothered about the football. I know that sounds ridiculous, like I'm contradicting myself, but I'm also very much in the case of, look, let's just get the results. Let's get the points we need to stay up. It's about the results this season, not necessarily about the performances. And considering that we were 1-0 down with 4 minutes to go in this game, I definitely see it as a point gained rather than 2 points dropped.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. So, I agree with you saying. The Premier League, you're never going to get a 90-minute performance. I completely understand. I'm not saying every game we're going to play 90 minutes, but you can't play well for one half on some games the second half. There's got to be a balance where the performance is gradual across the whole game. That it's a standard, steady performance. At the moment, they're not standard and steady. They're 45 minutes we can play absolutely really good, and then we just don't turn up. That second half or first half where we don't turn up is costing us too many games. Manu the other night, I mean, I know he changed a lot of players, but the goals we conceded were awful. Some of them were. They're park football. The Forest game, 2 of the goals, they're a disgrace. A long ball over the top. a ball in behind and onto his weak foot and shoots. It's little things like that for me. I'll ask Chris before you go, Joe.
All right, no worries.
Boubacar Samari, does he start at Man U?
He's got to for me. I think he impressed when he was on against United, and today he's changed the game. Absolutely bodies one of their players to get us into the position to score, and obviously Ayew finishes. I think you have to reward that type of performance, and you have to reward that change that he implemented in the team. So you have to.
Good. Thanks for coming on, mate. Much appreciated.
Right, thank you. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Bye. Like I say, guys, I've dropped the link in there. Anyone else wants to come on and have their say, you're more than welcome to. Just like Jono and Joe have done tonight, come and have your say. Vestergaard looks solid. I agree with you. He does look solid. We look a better team with Vestergaard in, because the way we play out from the back, he's a ball-playing defender. And if you have that in your team, you're always going to do better. Jeremy Reed's just put, I didn't receive battle of this private chat going on, and for the lads, and a few of them are just not happy. But I'll ask a question to you. Put in the comments. Samari, does he start? Yes or no? Put your thumbs up if he does. Let me know what you thought on that one. Jordan Ayew, does he start next week? 2 sub appearances, 2 goals in the last few weeks for him. Does he deserve to be playing up front next week, or having a game off the bench? Mabadidi hasn't really done it the last few games. Cooper still needs to go. Only looked good against 10 men. Couldn't understand why he's saying that. Adam saying, yeah, Samari must start next game. Completely agree on that. If we could cut out the silly mistakes, we could pick up some decent points. Again, yeah, I agree with you on that. If we did pick up the silly mistakes, are the things that's costing us this season big time. A lot of people are saying going to be 7 points at these last games. We've got them. The result form has looks to be cracking result. It was a massive result, and so with the Southampton game. I said 8 points from the full game. We've got 7. You can't moan at that. And I'm not sitting here saying Cooper out tonight still. I'm still very much, I don't get what he's trying to do, and I'll still back until he's gone. I'm still questioning what we are doing though as a team. I still don't get, there's no identity for me on what we're trying to do. And, you know, on that side alone, I want to see what Cooper wants his team to do, because I don't get it, if you get what I mean. A couple more minutes, I'm going to go, guys. Obviously, I've just done the watch along, and it's now 5:20, and I want some food. So I'm going to go get some scrum in a minute. But like I say, sorry, but Cooper out. Don't know what he's doing, no game plan. You can tell where the players have the ball. I couldn't understand what he's saying there. Mavadini needs dropping, somehow gets Alakanous and Bonato together. Interesting one. I like to see them play together. I thought Alakanous was very good against Manchester United. Yes, mistake for the free kick for the goal, but bar that, I thought his goal was sublime, and I thought he had a very all-round good game. McAtee should start ahead of Mavadini as another option. Hasn't had much game time this year. Like to see him getting a few more minutes. We've got an away point. I think it's a great result. Yeah. David Moyes, that I banged on earlier, someone I think could do well for us. Look, if we had top-notch manager, this team would be mid-table. Yeah, I don't think there's any problem with the squad of players. This squad of players are good enough to stay in the Premier League. I've said that from all the start of the season. I said that pre-season. The squad of players we've built, I think we're good enough to start this season. But the players need to show it. So, what's Cooper doing is throw stuff, hoping it sticks. Zero plan on tactical nows. Have to get results. You can understand that one. So yeah. Like I said, guys, I'll put the link out there. If anyone else would come on, if we'd won today, we'd be mid-table. And that's the dip. There you go, Ben. I completely agree. A win would have put us literally, I think, it's 3 points off 8th. It would have been a great win today and really put the pressure on Ipswich more. Now, again, we've just kept the same gap. Great point for us. Away games never easy. I think the squad's a little thin. I think we are going to have a rough crisp. The next 8 games are going to be rough. Like I said, I think you've got to look at the Wolves, the Brentford away. There's a few games like that we've just got to really trying to get points from. Cooper just can't get 90-minute performance out of us. Moyes would make us more solid. I've said that earlier today on the watch along. I think Moyes would solid us up and still have an attacking threat going forward. Right. And on that note, 20 minutes in, I'm going to call it a night. Guys, whoever watched the watch on, thank you for pushing up with me. I had a really poor stream today for some reason, but appreciate that. everyone who's calling down, drop your comment in. Appreciate you doing that again. Join Jamie tomorrow for the famous aftermath show at 10 a.m. He'll be out of bed. Hopefully, he got his clocks again right, because you know what I mean. He didn't look it up last year. He was right last week, but hey, you know what Jamie's like. Have a great night. It's a point. We now move on to Manchester United away next week. Cheers. Good night.